And a family is mourning a loved one hit and killed by a suspected drunk driver who crashed into her Vancouver home. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brittany Folkers, and that is our top story here at 4 o'clock. Friends and family of Danielle Abrahams are in shock, trying to make sense of this sudden loss. They say Danielle was an avid gardener who had a really big heart. Mike Benner spoke to Danielle's sister and a close colleague. So, Mike, how are they holding up?
Well, Brittany, family is doing as best as they can. This was so unexpected. As Danielle's sister shared with us, nobody expects to come home from work, sit on the couch to relax, and have their life come to an end. But that is what happened in this case. And the family of Danielle Abrahams wants justice.
I don't think there's a word that covers how we're all feeling.
Justine Baker is in utter shock that she'll never again talk to her older sister, Danielle Abrahams.
I think we're all just trying to be strong and do the pieces that we can do.
That's all you can do after what happened at this home at the corner of Unander and Fruit Valley in Vancouver. This is where Danielle lived with her husband Billy and brother James. The trio were at home Thursday night when a car hit a curb, slammed through a fence and crashed into the house. The car hit Danielle, who was in the living room. Her brother rushed to her side.
He held her hand and they just kept telling him to tell her it was going to be okay and she was going to be fine. And she said, "I can't breathe," a handful of times, and then she stopped responding.
Danielle died, so too did her dog, seen here in this photo taken just minutes before the crash. Justine said her sister loved her dog and life as well.
She was a canner, an avid gardener. She had a heart.
And perhaps that explains Danielle's more than 10-year career at Reside Residential Care, a company focused on supporting people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
The short time that Danielle had on this earth, she did not waste a single moment sharing her compassion, her generosity, her kindness.
Rich Nakanishi is a colleague and good friend of Danielle's. He says the entire staff at Reside Residential Care is reeling over her death.
We're just trying to make sense of it as well. You know, someone so good, how can something so bad happen to a person?
The short answer, bad choices. In this case, on the part of the driver accused of hitting Danielle. She is identified as Karen Baker, and police believe she was under the influence at the time of the crash.
I hope she gets the fullest punishment possible. I think she made a decision that night. She's in her 50s. She knew better.
And as Justine Baker points out, the driver's life goes on, while her sister's life does not. As for the family,
our lives are frozen.
Your heart just breaks for the family. A GoFundMe has been established to help with costs that'll arise in the wake of Danielle's death. You can find a link to that GoFundMe on our website, kgw.com. Two more things worth mentioning. The suspect driver is in the hospital herself, and once discharged, she'll be booked into jail. And lastly, I exchanged messages with Vancouver's transportation manager, and he says since 2015, there's been one other crash at Unander and Fruit Valley. A car went through the fence, nobody killed or injured, but in light of what happened to Danielle, traffic engineers will be evaluating the intersection for possible countermeasures to keep something like this from happening again. Brittany?
Just awful. All right, Mike, thank you.